after the fire's finished, I like hike around my house, and I'll take this one hike that was like towards the fires.
Yeah.
By the end of the hike, and I'm walking.
Yeah.
I walk from my house to the end of the hike. Bro, the end of the hike was fire.
Oh, no.
I was able to walk to how close it was. I was like, this, man.
Just became part of the hike now.
Yeah,
right.
I'm like going to make a whole sprinkler system in my house. Sometimes, like, I got to figure that out.
So you grew up in LA.
Yeah. Born and raised.
So I feel like Topanga's like an end goal. Right? So
well, no, I like grew up in like the West Side when I was a kid until I was like 12. I was moving around all like Culver City, Venice, Mar Vista, like Westchester. I lived in a whole bunch of places. It was just me and my mom. She's a single mom trying to hustle, and I'm just a kid. She's trying to figure it all out. And we did that, and then I was being a bad kid, and I just got sent away to some kind of like boarding school, and then my mom like resurfaced and like got all her hustle because I wasn't some crazy kid in her ear. You know what I mean? Yeah. She got all her shit together, and then she like got the spot in Topanga, and she was renting it out. She found a really good deal and was renting it out, and eventually she moved to like Connecticut because that's where she's from, because she wanted just to get away for a second, and then I just took over. And eventually I was like, I just bought the place because I was like, I don't want to deal with that landlord. He was just an asshole. I didn't like the landlord at all.
So you got to buy your childhood home.
Yeah.
Did you get it off of music?
Huh?
Were you able to acquire
I've never had a job in my life.
So you acquired your childhood home that you loved off of music?
100%.
Wow.
Well, it was like, bro, I don't know like if it's some universal thing or whatever the situation was, but it was like a stressful period of time. Like I was having issues with my neighbor about music because I was working at the house all the time, and and she just was this old like fucking motorcycle chick, and her and her husband are just like, they don't like rap music. It's not that it wasn't whatever it is, but anyways, so the landlord owns both the houses, and he's like, yo, you got to get out. This girl's driving me crazy. She keeps complaining. So I'm just like, man, boom, 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 and then for some like. The whole Juice WRLD shit happened. Like everything happened like at that time, and I just like locked in. And then, out of desperation to buy my house, I ended up signing a publishing deal because I wanted to buy a piece of property and I was going to lose that house.
I mean, that's smart though.
Wow.
Then I was like, at least like if I had this pub deal, I can buy some property. Property always maintains value. Like,
right.
I was just thinking like in the long term. And really, I've always been offered pub deals before, like with Migos and all these other things. And I just never took it because I didn't really need the money. Like, I was always sustaining all my stuff. My bills was always paid and I was able to do my thing. But this time it was like different. I was going to lose this situation. So I was like, I'm just going to take it. And then I just did it. Yeah.
I mean, that's so smart because a lot of producers, they'll end up doing a pub deal without any actual reason or purpose.
100%.
Yeah. And they did, and people don't know, man. The pub deals are like, you might get what 100,000, 200,000, but then
they're not as big as people think that.
Yeah, a lot of them are not. That, but the stuff I did was different because it was like Juice was so big, and some people get those situations where they're like, when I did that, Jetson, what's his name?
Jetson May.
He was popping at the same time, so we was like right at the same thing.
Yeah, it was like perfect
timing. So it was like, it just depends on how hot you are at the moment. You know what I mean? That's how much money you're gonna get.
And how many records were you in at that time before you was like, I got
with who?
Just in general,
I don't know.
Well, I think
by the time you press that button,
major.
Yeah,
I had so many records, bro. I did so many records with Gucci Mane, Wiz, Waka. And just in between there were just a bunch of tracks as well. So I can't even tell you how many tracks there were before
But this is interesting. We were just talking about how you grew up in LA, moved all around, got sent off to like a boarding school or some type of equivalent,
No, it was some bullshit.
But LA-based kid.
Yeah.
And you really started, correct me if I'm wrong, started popping off connection with like Atlanta rappers, right?
Yeah.
How did this LA West Coast, East Coast connection happen?
Well, I would say like the reason why I was making that type of music back then we didn't really even consider it trap beats. It was called like South beats.
Yeah, that's what it was.
100%.
Before I was working with major artists, which was the first person I ever really worked with was this guy. Actually, my first placement was actually a West Coast artist. It was the New Boys.
Wow.
You're a Jerk.
Yeah.
Not that song, but I did something on their second album called Black Dress. And this is good, but I got that because I interned. I interned at this DJ guy, and this guy, shout out to DJ Ski. He's a sick ass DJ, and he was doing a lot of videos. I met bro, and then they were like, "Oh, Purps, you sell beats on Soundclick." And that's how a lot of people, like, when I would introduce myself, they'd be like, "Oh, Purps, I already downloaded your beats before." And I was like, "Oh, sick." Wow. So then I built that connection, and then once it's like a first major artist, so I'm just flooding them with beats. Bah, bah, bah. Like, I'm trying to get that placement. You know what I mean? Right. So that's when my first placement was. But anyways, but even that beat wasn't West Coast. But for some reason, the West Coast never really gave me any love, and it's no disrespect to any of them. It's just for some reason, I'm just like this white kid from the Valley, and I never fit in the criteria to sit and make beats for like those type of, because you understand the streets of LA is different. Yes. Like, so if you're making real hip hop music, you have to be tied into some street culture shit that's some real shit. So it's like, I wasn't in that world, and I didn't know those people that well. So I'm like, I'm gonna make beats online, sell them to random ass people. Boom, 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 boom. We were doing some club shit actually over here at the W, and that's where we met Waka. And then Waka's mom is Deborah Antony, who's like one of the biggest managers in history. Like, she's managing Nicki, French, Waka, Gucci, Lex, Southside, Mike Will, like everybody was there. So it was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna lock in with Waka. And I fuck with Waka because Waka was like revolutionary when he came. I was like, holy shit. When I was in the studios, I'm like, oh my God. But anyways, Waka was the one who introduced us. And then once we did all that with Waka, we was locked in with Deborah, and we went out to Atlanta, and then that's kind of how I met Southside. I met all these people that I just met and like acquired networking with and just became friends with, Yeah. And that's really how it really started, because that was really my first connection. And then I became the connection out here. If anybody wanted some weed or whatever, you know what I mean? Pull up. Yeah, I got you. Because all the weed shops fucked with me. They was always super supportive, and they were like, "Oh, Waka here, give him an ounce,
right?
Give him an ounce. Here's my sticker all over it." Yeah, I was like, "Hell yeah, give me the ounce. You're gonna make me look great, bro."
Well, that's that usual. You never get love in your hometown.
You never do, and even in LA, like it's crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, it's one of the biggest entertainment capitals of the world, and even to this day, like, who's the only artist that ever given me love is Phoenix Flexin'. He's the only artist in LA. Besides, actually, I take that back. The artists that were signed to Waka, they were from LA. They were from Inglewood, and they were the ones that first fucked with me. And I was doing projects with them, and I did majority of their projects. And that's how we like really kind of built, because I was helping their artists. I was putting them in the studio. I was mixing them, doing it all for free because it was just gang.
Right.
Brick Squad, turn up. Brick Squad Monopoly, BSM. We going crazy. That's what it was.
The groundwork.
No, it took a lot.
Groundwork.
I didn't pay, I didn't get paid for nothing, bro. Nothing. I think I might have got paid just for the song with Waka, the first one. And then after that, it was just like, man, I'm going to just go crazy. Just like all my resources that I had, I pushed them to some way help my music get to that, to people as much as I could.
Do you feel laying that foundation as far as like looking at almost as like internship work, like all these beats that you made in the beginning, it was worth it to where you are now, right? To not take these.
Bro, I love music. I was always make music no matter what. I kind of feel bad for people that make music for money. Like I'm like a real student of music, so like it doesn't affect me to feel like, oh, you did too much work. I always feel like I do not enough. Even though I've made 50 beats a week, I feel like why not? It's fun.
Right.
How do you feel like you find the sweet spot of, because I still do that to this day, where no matter how much success I have, there's things I love doing for fun, and that always leads me to success by finding room to do things for fun.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, no matter how much money or success I've had in something, if there's something I want to do, regardless of what it pays me, I'm going to do it because I want to do it, because it's fun, and it ends up being successful for me. Either that or something.
because your heart's in it. Your heart's in it.
Do you have to think about this actively, or does it just passively happen for you, this balance between doing what you love and finding a way to make success in it business-wise?
I think a lot of people that actually make it in like producing and rapping and whatever, they take a lot of sacrifices that a lot of people don't understand. Like they'll sacrifice their families and friends and relationships and things. A lot of those three things that I just said are super big, bro. And they'll stop you from making big, major decisions. You might have a girlfriend that says, no, you can't do that. And that could have been the situation. You're going to have parents that don't support you. And then you can't do the type of music that you want to do.
Right.
All those, but sometimes you got to sacrifice and say, fuck all that.
Right.
Let me just do what I believe in. That's how I've always approached it. Like, I'm like, man, I'm sorry if this is going to hurt you. I got to do it for me. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I had to cut off my childhood sweetheart. Like, we both mutually stopped, but I was like, this couldn't work because you don't fuck with me. You don't fuck with my music.
So you've hit, that's the next question I was asking you. Have you hit a roadblock that was one of those, like,
it's a transition period
in the road?
Yeah.
What kind? What do you mean though?
Where you were just telling me, like, the biggest things that could stop someone could be their parents telling them, like, yo, like, you got to get your life.
I mean, I was fortunate. My mom is like super cool.
Oh, not even just like, but you listed these things: relationship, parents, work.
Again, you have to think for yourself, man. You have to be like, what's best for me? And you got to think like that. Bro, we got one life, one vessel.
Right.
This is what it is. And people might say that's selfish and narcissistic or whatever the situation is. But what, bro? No, they got the same situation and they're not taking advantage of it. Mm-hmm. You got to look at this is it. This is it. This whole realm, this is it. Take advantage of it. If somebody doesn't support you, man, I'm sorry. Best wishes to you. Mm-hmm. Keep it pushing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But so that's why I felt. I was like, if you don't align with my system, then you just can't be around me like that. So
was there ever a memorable roadblock where it was like you had to make that decision?
I always thought like that. You know what I mean?
At what age though, or time period, just for the viewers, like, was that transition you feel like? The first one at least.
Well, first of all, I would say this is very important. Like, all right, this is a good one, I think. All right, so the reason why I was always making music since I was like 13 or 12. I played guitar. I would record on little fucking machines and shit, tape recorders and all these random things. But I didn't take it seriously. I was just doing it with my friends, just to almost like learn music in a weird way. It took me to start freestyling on beats and then understand that there was a network online that sold beats. For me to be like, okay, I'm going to take what I learned and I'm going to start making these type of beats so I have a place to put it. The reason why I'm saying all this is sometimes you got to make music or whatever it is when there's an opportunity to make sense. And a lot of people just do things and there's no opportunity. And that's what makes people so depressed on why things don't work out for them, because they don't have an opportunity. You got to first try to find something that gives you an outlet to make you inspired, bro. If it wasn't first Soundclick, I wouldn't have wanted to keep making beats because I'll just be making beats for myself and my retarded friends.
So for you, it was Soundclick that you found
my not so smart friends.
Yeah,
right.
Blank that out.
Soundclick.
Soundclick. I gotta be politically correct. I'm older, so that word is not a bad word for me.
Nah, 100%.
But I don't mean it in disrespect.
Yeah, I think everything's intention, bro.
It's intent.
Like
it's open.
Intention.
Yeah, but they were my friends, so I can call them that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fire, bro.
But yeah, so I was saying that outlet, it was important. If I didn't have that outlet, that wouldn't have inspired me to keep making it. So I'm 20 years old, 19, 18, and that was happening. And then I had a friend that was a neighborhood friend, and he was doing the same thing, and we both fed off of each other.
How old are you?
I'm 37.
Oh, we're the same age.
Wow,
that's crazy.
bro.
Yeah.
So wait, you started finding success on Soundclick around 20?
Yeah.
Really?
Bro, I sold my first beat for $600.
Wow.
Yeah. From some guy who's like, hey, how you doing? He was from Southern Carolina or something. Hey, how you doing? I want to buy this beat. I'm like, bro, is this a joke?
Right.
I'm like, are you prank calling me? Because I'm a kid. I'm thinking it's a prank call.
Yeah.
I want to buy the beat right now. Yeah. Send me your information right now. Then on Western Union. I'm like, all right, bet. I give it to him because it's like, what can he do? Bro, he sent me the code in 10, 20 minutes. And I'm like, oh, boom. I go there. I'm like, bro, I just got $600. This is crazy.
That's crazy.
Off of just nothing.
Do you feel like in the
It's invisible.
An idea is invisible.
It's invisible. I can't touch it. I can't taste it.
And that was the first ever beat that you sold?
The first one. And I was probably in Soundclick, probably, bro.
How old were you?
Bro, I was probably like 20, 19.
Wow.
Yeah, bro, that shit was that was a really good time.
Were you getting placements around that time too?
No, hell no.
So
I didn't get placements until I was like 21. It took like 3 years of me
So
always putting a beat on Soundclick.
You were making money on Soundclick before
Fuck
you were
yeah.
getting
I didn't
placements.
have to ever have a job. I'm telling you right now, I never had a job in my life.
Wow.
I've never worked. Actually, I take that back. I had a job when I was 18 because my girlfriend at the time, mom, was like, yo, go work at, this ain't gonna do anything. You're not making no money. Go work at Ralph's, a supermarket. And I did that for like one summer. And I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm not fucking being on my feet for fucking 8 hours for $150. You fucked up. Hell no, I can sit for 2 hours and make 3 beats and literally sell them at the bare minimum of $100.
So your story's similar to my business partner, Big Head, who made most of his initial money off of SoundClick. And he had a homie, DJ Flip. Yeah. And Big Head got Flip.
Shout out to both of them. They're fire.
He got Flip off. So Flip taught Big Head how to flip cars, and then Big Head taught Flip how to flip beats.
Hard.
And then Flip, because Flip always finds a way to go crazy
Flip
on some
flip.
shit. But I'm surprised. So I didn't even know SoundCloud went back that
Soundclick,
long.
Soundclick was really that shit,
hard,
bro.
bro.
Johnny Giuliano was on there. Johnny bro, that was the first. I don't think people understand that. In reality, SoundClick was one of the first social media things, because you would put beats on there, and then what you would do is you would go to the forums, and then the forums would be hip hop and rap forums. And you would go in there, here's my beat. And everybody be like, man, this shit suck. And it was like real, like,
trash talking shit.
Like, so now the problem is, the thing is now is like you'll put some shit and only your friends respond. Back then it was random people. So you would put up a post and then you would just be like, all these random people, and then you became friends with random ass new people. Right. Like the algorithm doesn't feed like that now.
Nah.
And it was live feedback.
Yeah, it was live, and it helped so much.
Development.
Bro, I was like, if it wasn't for like Johnny Giuliano and this guy named Mad Screws and Vibe and all these guys that were so fire, bro, I saw people that were like me making incredible music. That was super inspirational. You know what I mean?
Insane,
I would listen to their beats and be like, damn, this is crazy. I need to turn my shit up. How am I gonna sell beats?
Do you think there's a market? Do you think there's a marketplace like that now? Do you think BeatStars comes close to what that is now?
The problem is it's so saturated. Like there was only one place where you could buy beats, and there was maybe 100,000 uploads at that time, maybe. Now there's 100 million. Mm-hmm. How like it's completely different, bro.
Yeah,
it's so saturated, and I don't want to be like an old head, but another problem is just like the preset sound selling thing became a thing, because now everybody's selling their sauce. Right. And people used to guard their sauce like it was really something. Like, no, you're not getting these drums. I'm not telling you what plugin that was. I don't know. That was Nexus, bro. They lying. They lying. You know what I mean? But now people are so wanting to get views that they're willing to just give information up. They're so wanting notoriety that they're willing to give like super sauce away. And this is a big problem with why people are like copying each other, because nobody's making their own sound.
And that's the good and the bad of social media.
And I don't want to be negative, but it's obvious.
True.
I mean, what? There are 100%. There are very people that act unique and they are their own sound. Those are people that are fire.
If someone knows,
and usually those people are successful.
Yeah, right.
Because they made some shit pop off. So look at Benny X.
If someone knows they have that sauce, they know that they're fire, they know they're talented, is it worth holding out in an era where it's kind of like, shit, do I have to get on Instagram and TikTok and just like spill my shit to get 100 million views to hope to sell a beat for $5?
Yeah, it's like branding though.
Or is it worth it to hold on to that talent that you have and try to wait for that right moment to use your talent? Or are we in an
That's
era where
there's a
to,
sacrifice thing right there. You're gonna have to you're gonna have to believe in yourself to be like, do I have the capability to make this amazing piece of art, and then go try to find a home for it. Sacrifice, bro. That's on you to figure out if you can make that happen. Like, bro, people say that what you said, cool. That's your avatar speaking to yourself, but what you have to just do it.
Right.
Just try it, and then
faith.
And then, bro, if you got to go wherever that artist that you think is that makes that sense, and go over there and do that. You know what I mean? Again, it's always good to make music for having an outlet because it's going to inspire you, and then you'll have somewhere to put that music. So, yeah, what you're saying, yeah, but so make those certain. If you know somebody that knows somebody, make those style of beats. In your version, don't copy it, but make it your version of it, because they're not going to want to go backwards anyways. And if they do, they're most likely going to be an artist that doesn't sustain, because all artists elevate that are really, really, really good artists. They sound always elevates every album. Something will be unique about it. And no artist, this is another thing that's super important, is that no artist wants to go backwards. So people making beats that sound like, oh, this is a whatever beat, whatever. Bro, that person doesn't want that beat anymore. They're done with that style. That song that you heard, first of all, was made 6 months ago, and maybe a year ago, and then now he's making a whole different thing right now. So when you come in the studio playing some shit that he made 6 months ago, you look crazy.
Right.
You got to think of ahead. Like, what's bro gonna be on? Yeah. Let me see what he's doing in the studio. Right. Like,
yeah,
do some research.
There's the trailer producers that, or everyone, or artists that. They hear a sound, they all mock this, they copy the same sound, and then that becomes this thing instead of like advancing an art. So then they make these type beats, and
I'm telling you right now from experience, bro, from being in the studio, and when you're going into the studio with like Wiz or Currency or Gucci Man or whatever, and you go in there and you listen to their music that you haven't heard and the public hasn't heard, you're going to be blown away, because you're going to be like, whoa, I didn't expect you to do this.
Right.
And it's because they're evolved already. So when you play some shit, they're gonna look at you crazy when you look in the studio like with some shit that's unevolved. Yeah, it's not hasn't moved up.
So I feel like this,
and I don't even want to work with an artist. It's like, yo, I need beats that sound like me. Like yeah, they want beats that sound like them. But I don't want to. I hate when they'll be like, oh, listen to this song I made like 6 years ago and make something like this because this song did really well for me. Like, bro, you can't chase the old success.
They're probably not a truly talented artist. They might have just gotten lucky with that record.
They just they probably are talented, but they just think that chasing a old success is going to make some new success because it worked for them before. Right. It doesn't work like that. People get bored of old ideas.
100%.
So if you didn't come, you might be able to come and be like, okay, yeah, we got to go in this world, but we got to make this new evolution of it. Okay, that inspires me to make that beat or that sound or record it. It's like, okay, we're going to make the new version of this.
Do you think what you're talking about right now, I feel like separates producers that are just jumping in to make beats and truly talented producers? Because if you're able to hear an artist and find a way to evolve their sound, then you're truly talented rather than just jumping on the bandwagon of making a sound for that producer. Right. Because we have producers that submit beats that just constantly sending the same exact sound that artist has already been successful on.
It sucks.
And then you have a producer that has an idea for what their future could be.
Can I get some more water?
Yeah. Can we get a...
Mouth is dry.
It comes into the nuance of taking risks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be a risk taker,
you have to sacrifice, bro. You got to
sacrifice. As a songwriter, what do you do?
Come on, think about when somebody does. Sorry to cut you off, but think about when somebody does that. They're not taking a risk, and they're kind of being submissive.
A yes man.
And a yes man.
100%.
And they're kind of like, this is what people like. No, bro, you got to come in with some new style and make people understand your new thing.
100%.
And it sounds like you should get on this.
The first time you heard Juice WRLD's music, what did you think?
I was relieved because I was making that type of music at that moment. Like I was into the alternative thing, and it was like, damn, finally we got a song, we got a big song, like Lucid Dream. Like Peep was doing great, and there was some Post Malone and stuff like that, but Post was like super pop, and then Peep died, or I think he died, and then. Yeah, it was like we have a song, and Juice like resonated really well. because he like I don't know why. He just like from Chicago, and it was just like he hit both the worlds of everything really well compared to everybody else.
How did you guys first connect?
My homie Max Lord, 808 Mafia.
Fire.
Yeah, Max Lord is 808 Mafia, and Max Lord locked in with Juice before anybody really knew who Juice was, and he Juice remembered that, and he brought Max with him. And Max is a guy who is smart. He was like, "You're making those type of beats. Nobody else in our gang is doing it, and I'm only gonna rock with the gang." So, boom.
He was right up the street from us because he had a spot in Studio City.
Yeah.
Recently, the last couple of years. So we had our spot. He was like right around the corner from us.
Yeah, in his truck, running around in his truck. That's my boy. Shout out to Max Lord. Really, Max Lord really made all that happen, bro. And Max Lord really, really loved Juice and really put a lot of, pretty much all of his skills, which are really, really good, probably some of the best, into Juice. And that's why I feel like they had just a good connection, bro. Like they both brought their best to the table, both of them.
I always talk about this because I've been doing music for so long, but in the weirdest way, that's a whole separate story. But like the best success I saw was from 17, 18, 19. It was it started just before the SoundCloud era started, what we call the SoundCloud era started to go. And then we lost some of the best talent, which includes Juice in that, Juice, X, Peep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was messed up.
Rest in peace, the fallen soldiers.
What do you think
The era.
would, and then we had COVID. What do you think music would be like now if Juice, Peep, X were still here?
You know, there's this weird effect, to the Michael Jackson effect, and I always think that I don't know if maybe it would have went and then it might have fizzled out, and it might not have had the impact that it did if those people didn't pass away, because the people's passing away like brought so much attention.
So loss gives value to something.
It's
in a kind of fucked
so
up way.
sick to say, man, and it's messed up how the world works,
Well,
bro.
art's been that way.
It's
throughout
always been
history.
like that. It's like Van Gogh, like bro was like he didn't even get to reap any of the benefits of his
Right.
work.
At
His
all.
stuff goes for $100 million now.
Right.
Like regular pieces of art, bro. And dude was in a mental hospital, bro. He was cutting his ears off for chicks, bro. Like he was going through it, bro. And he didn't get to so it's like it took to that effect, bro, sometimes. And you don't know if that effect didn't happen? What if that didn't become such a legendary thing? Because look, in reality, after Juice passed, bro, who really had a crazy impact on that sound since?
Nobody.
Kid
Oh,
Leroy
wait.
got influenced by.
No, I'm talking about a real.
No.
Like, a real.
Shout out to Kid Leroy, no disrespect, but I'm talking about Juice impact, where you changed a course of music.
No.
With that sound.
With that sound,
It was a
nah,
few artists
nobody
at the
had
time, and no one.
Because everybody,
nobody was
you know,
able to carry the
I hate
torch.
to say this too, but it gave a lot of people a lot of opportunity to take that style and fucking generic it up, bro.
Yeah.
Because what happened was Juice passed away, RIP, and now you don't have real competition, bro. Because Juice would have always made a better song than you.
Right.
He would have always destroyed your single. He would have no matter how hard you would have went on that alternative wave, bro. He would have always did it better. So when bro is gone, you open the door for a bunch of people that can do some regular ass work that sounds like that, because there's no competition left.
Right.
There's nobody else.
That's an interesting dynamic you just brought up.
Yeah, no, I think
interesting.
about all these things.
If
I'm
that's
like
interesting
nobody
dynamic.
really ever had no popping.
And
like,
when he was doing it, it made people want to push to get to that level.
but they
now there's
couldn't.
No longer
But they
a standard.
could. But they really couldn't, because Juice was always better than them. He was always better at that style. He was the only one of the few. Him and Pete.
We talk about evolution.
Pete would have been probably just as big
Yeah,
as Juice if he stayed alive, bro. For sure. Because
Teen-
he inspired me to make those beats. I was making them before, but it was scattered. It was like 1 out of 100. But when I heard him, I was like, oh, okay. Shout out to Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit. He's the one who told me to do those beats.
It was fire.
Yeah, we were working on a project. He's like, yo, dude, this is crazy. Listen to this guy, Lil Peep. And I was like, really? Oh, yeah, yeah. And I was like, all right, I'll make you beats like that.
Do you think Juice would still be making that type of music now if he was still here?
He was doing different stuff when he was like at the end.
And were you guys working on stuff?
Yeah, I was sending him
and
beats.
it was
Yeah.
a different style.
It was like a new version of it. You know, I'm always on some evolution. Like I wanted to add some new, different textures. I wasn't like like the same way I was before. I was maybe adding more like acoustic. I don't know, maybe more synths and stuff.
I saw some of the stuff.
Like even I think because Cavalier, the song that just dropped, we made that kind of at the like not at the end, but like around that time. And that time I was doing it. That if you look at that beat, that's not like an alternative beat. It's like it has a guitar in it, but it's like a future beat or something. It's like it's just a hip hop beat, you know?
Yeah.
It's like a rap trap beat. It's not like alternative at all.
It's hard.
I was looking at some of the snippets you shared on your Instagram, and I was seeing. It's unfortunately we live in this time now, but like fans were talking about this as AI potentially. Like, oh, is this real? Is this fake?
What?
I almost thought you maybe like fed into that. Like, yo,
What,
is this
Cavalier?
real? I don't remember which one it was.
Well, none of the songs that I ever post is AI. Those are for sure real songs.
Okay.
What happens is some of them will take AI and then they'll like AI a video of some live stream, and then it like takes away the background sounds, and then it starts sounding
Yeah,
AI.
it starts sounding
Because
like
there's
AI.
like this weird artifact with AI and audio. I don't know how to explain it. It does like this weird thing.
So all those songs you have in the bank that you've been posting, you think those will eventually come out?
Man, I don't know, bro. I feel very weird about that anyways, because it's like
Posthumous releases?
Yeah.
yeah,
hate that shit.
I like he's not here, bro. You know, and the only reason why I felt comfortable doing the Cavalier and the Codon beat is because those were done when we made like those weren't I made that beat and he got on that beat, and that beat didn't get touched since. The only thing that we did is Max Lord polished it up, and Juice would have wanted that. He would have wanted his friend to literally mix the song in the most beautiful way he could.
Right.
Because me and Max Lord rented out the nicest studio, put it through the nicest gear. He was like, "Mo, we got the label budget, bro. We're gonna go crazy. We're gonna literally put it through the $100,000 board. Every sound is gonna go." And I was like, "Yo, bro, you're like such a good guy, bro. Like you literally care, bro.
Right.
You know, like a lot of people don't give a fuck, bro.
Right.
And he's not even here, and he still care, bro. You know, and we put all that love in there. That's why I don't feel bad, because I'm like, we did it the way he would have wanted to do it.
And he had his actual influence and touch to the record. It wasn't
He made the record. yeah.
industry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like some of those records on the like post whatever. Those were like remade.
Yes,
Beats were remade,
man.
added, stuff was added. It wasn't approved by him, and no disrespect to anybody, but I don't know how I feel, bro. That's like, it's cool. We got to make art. We got to give something for the fans, but that's not what Juice made.
So if new stuff comes out that wasn't, I see it happen all the time. Stuff gets pulled, added to. They take a beat, they add a feature. They take something he might have worked on, or they pull vocals. If it was on your beat, would you be inclined to be a part of helping that get cleared, or would you say, nah, this is not what it was intended for?
That's a good question. I don't know. If it was special, yeah, maybe. This is like Kanye verse or something like super, something that's really something that I felt like he would want. I would listen to myself because I knew Juice, bro. Like we hung out, and I understood how he thought. He cared about art, and so if it seems artistic and not superly politically correct and not cheesy, then I think that would make sense. Because he didn't want to do no cheesy stuff, and he wanted, like, bro, there would be artists in the studio when we were working, and they were big artists, and he didn't want to work with them because he's like, it don't fit for me, bro.
So
I was like, damn, you didn't do it. Why didn't you guys do a record together? He's like, nah, bro, nah.
So if there's something that ended up,
He would laugh. He would laugh. He'd be like, nah, bro.
Nah,
I'm good, bro.
If there was something that ended up on your beat that you're like, nah, Juice would not want this, you would, no matter what it was, you'd be like, I'm not clearing that. That's it. No.
Maybe I'd ask for a lot of money.
A lot of money. Okay.
A lot of money, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
Me
Maybe.
and Big Ed, we have one last deep record that we've been waiting for the right time put it out. We kind of got the blessing on it, but just waiting for that time.
Because you know why I would
we're not
take a lot of
changing it,
money?
though.
Because Juice probably would respect that. He'd be like, damn,
get your bag, bro.
they making bro put up
Yeah.
a shitty record. At least he got a
least he got a
bag.
bag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. That's
Yeah, think about it on some hustle shit. Like, yeah, at least he's getting a bag for it. Like,
Yeah.
right.
what the fuck?
No, that makes sense.
All right, shout out. I'm glad that never happened, though. I'm
Right.
happy about the releases, too, because those releases were, like, fan favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, do you know how annoyed I was with people asking me for Cavalier, bro? I would get I'm not exaggerating, bro, 10 messages a day. And that's every day for like 6 years, bro. People like, yo, where's Cavalier? Here's the live stream. Get the song. Hit up the label. No, bro, it would be like, I'm like, bro, fucking shut the fuck up. Leave me alone. I go live on Instagram. Where's Cavalier? Where's Cavalier? Drop it. I'm like, bro, this is so annoying. So then I was like, damn, they put up a song that's actually like requested. They really want this one.
Yeah.
And they went crazy.
You've talked about the issue with, I mean, we've all talked about the issue of labels and fucking over producers, screwing over producers, making it difficult.
Yeah.
Was dealing with Grade A, Juice's label, smooth in getting stuff done?
Yeah, I'm happy everything worked out. That's all I'll say. Everything worked out.
As long as it works out.
Yeah, you know, one thing I'll say about that, and I think it's important to know, and I think everybody should know about this with business, is that people are not going to do nothing for you unless they're in your pockets. So you need to understand that first and foremost. Negotiate for yourself and get the lowest number you can. But you're not going to get a record, bro, that's going to make a number one or anything unless people are in your pockets, bro. And that means that there's a manager, a label, or a friend of the artist or somebody that's getting some money in the back from the situation. They not going to give you that. You're not going to just meet somebody and then, oh, they love my music. Oh, my God, they give me a number one hit now with Nicki Minaj. Oh, that she just featured. No, it's not going to happen. There's going to be some guy that's going to be like, oh, wait, hold on, bro. You got this song with bro. Yeah, I'm not going to make it happen unless I get 15%, 25%. There's no way I'm going to allow that to happen.
If you wanted to go where you wanted to go.
Yeah, he's like, we won't release the record. It won't get on the album.
I've had this exact statement told to me. I've had posts after Gucci Gang came out years later and dealing in disputes and debates, and I've had the former CEO of Warner tell me, we put, like, because I was very adamant about the Gucci Gang and Pump's success. And I was like, Pump does all this shit himself. He made all this shit go viral. And he's like, bro, you think it went that big without us pushing the button on it?
Right, real
100%, bro. And it was good timing, too. Like, that was that was great timing. Like, everything was, like, I don't know if I should say it, but Trapzilla helped a lot. If y'all know who that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bro is wild.
I don't care. I'm just gonna say it. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but this is the truth. But if it wasn't for bro, who knows?
There's something special about that dude.
Yeah, okay. Trapzilla, I've known since forever, bro. He was working with this boom boom boom. He had money and he let bros come to their house and act like kids that had money. That wasn't their money. So it made the whole world look like you're the shit, bro. But if it wasn't for bro being the investor, who knows?
What do you?
That helped. I'm saying somebody was in somebody's pockets. Somebody helped somebody politically. Boom, boom, boom. He wouldn't have done that unless he thought there was going to be some outcome.
There was some outcome and potential.
Yeah, he might have not got it, or I don't know what happened.
100%.
But he was like, yo, I believe in this. I'm going to let him do whatever he wants in my facility, and it's going to make him look good because I believe in this. I'm from Florida. I'm from wherever he was from. I think he might have been. I don't know where he's, but he knew that was going to be a scene.
100%.
Yeah.
You bring up a good point.
Strategy.
Kids, producers, whether they're
I
artists.
don't think a lot of people give him credit. Shout out to Trapzilla.
Nah, Trap. Yeah.
He's really
Trapzilla.
helped a lot of people, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know if we were ever, he's cool. I fuck with bro, but I don't know if he ever liked me, but I respect him a lot. You know?
You bring up this good point that I talk about all the time. This comes down to, like, everyone talks about masters now, producers. Even when signing me, talk about their masters. I want to have my masters.
Yep.
And what I feel like a lot of people don't understand is, like, I got 100% of my masters. I got this percent of my masters. And they don't understand that 100% of nothing is
$0 and 0 cents.
Wait, hold on. What are we talking about? Masters as far as the points, right?
Masters, ownership in anything.
Ownership
Okay.
in general.
You're talking about people who've contributed to people's
You
careers.
know, I'm gonna call y'all out though right now, and I don't care.
Okay.
Shoot.
I don't like how y'all. I posted up a picture of a fucking check that I got from Warner Brothers, and it was $2.50, and it was a stupid ass check, but I thought it was funny. The shit went viral, and everybody's like, "Oh shit, he ain't got no money." But then I posted up another one where I'm getting over 100K. Y'all didn't post nothing. Nobody wanted to. I know everybody loves drama, but y'all should have showed that people actually make money if they. Because first of all, I said a message in that shit. It wasn't even being an asshole. I was like, look, y'all need to look into your masters. You guys need to know that these labels are not paying you guys. They're not telling you that you have a lot of money sitting there because you're not doing the due diligence to fucking go get your masters and your points. Because you don't even know it.
Was that separate check on the publishing or the master side?
That was the master side.
Okay, yeah.
That was just the master. That was the points.
Right.
And that's what we're getting into right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Good. I'm glad because I was like, man, why didn't y'all
fair game.
Why didn't y'all tell them about that? That was
Fair
so
game.
smart. Like you should tell all the community
Hey, but
how to get their money.
Isn't it
bro.
better though? Hey,
I'm glad we're doing it here though.
isn't it better to come from the horse's mouth?
Yeah, it's true.
It's
That's
better
true.
to come from the horse's
Yeah.
mouth.
No, this is
Every time.
it's so important what you're saying, because if we have the information on that, on the master side, these labels will likely not pay you out until you follow up with them on the recruitment
Likely
of
they
the project.
won't. They will not pay you unless you hit them up.
I've
Correct.
seen some
You understand what I just said?
I've seen some instances
Because they wait 10
Right.
years after a statute of limitation,
Yeah.
and they split that amongst the CEOs.
It's
Correct.
way earlier.
And it
than
goes.
that.
I don't think so. No, because I waited 5 years. It was still good.
On the master side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
so
10 years. I think it's a 10 years statute template. I think you can still do it, but you have to do extra forms to try to get it after a certain year. But it's possible. But anyways,
That's
want
also
it.
on publishing,
They
too.
only want it because they split it amongst the CEOs.
They do that on the publishing though too.
Yeah.
So it's all comes down to market
both
share.
ways.
Yeah, it
But
goes
yeah,
into
so-
the black box.
Exactly. So publishing you can register, but publishing you register, they don't have control of that. They have to pay that out to like BMI ASCAP.
Yeah.
On the master side, until you hit them up, I'm constantly having to check
I
in.
think I hate to be on some conspiracy shit, but I think that they do that so that you kind of forget that there are masters, and they
Right.
make that automated service of ASCAP and BMI. So like, oh, I'm getting some money, but really, you're only getting 3% out of 100%,
nothing, yeah.
and you're getting actually some chump change anyways. But we're not even telling you about that.
the master side. Super
We're not even
small,
telling
too,
you
'cause what
about
they
that
give
little
producers-
3%.
Yeah.
You made 100% record, bro, and you made 50% of the record. But I have to sign this deal that I'm only getting 3%.
So question.
5%.
Question.
If I'm really popping 15, it's still not 50%.
So question, was the intent behind the first post to the second post to show the
No,
difference, or
no.
what was the intent from your?
To
what
be
was the
honest,
intent?
sometimes I think we in some kind of weird matrix, bro. But that first record, that first check, I always get those. They're like these things that I think are hilarious.
When you were showing that check though, was it your overall BMI check or was it for a specific record?
It was specifically for one record that.
So that had to be on the master side though, then, right? Because BMI gives you your.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
No. So what they do? There's actually There's actually like 7 forms of fucking income, of making your money. You get your publishing, and you're writing, and then I think there's this other thing that the labels have to pay you, and it's basically like the profits. And I don't know what it's called, but those people you usually like hit up, like I got the Migos stuff and I hit up quality control, and quality control sends me a check just directly, and that has nothing to do with
You're not
the
talking
master.
about the master points?
No, it's something else.
Not physical sales or.
I think it's physical sales and profit over something.
Because those usually show on masters. There's sound exchange.
Correct me if I'm wrong, whatever, say in the comments or whatever, but I know that I don't think I'm collecting from the masters of those Migos songs, and I think they're directly just giving me some money.
Your publishing is under
Warner Chappell.
Warner Chappell. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you would think they collect. You're in a.
no, well,
not to interrupt, but you're in a co-pub or you're in a
Co-pub.
You're in a okay.
Yeah, so they just grab
So
my
no one
I'm
has
about
publishing.
to say they're
Masters.
collecting all for you essentially.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but you know how it is. They don't be doing.
You don't have an
They
exclusive.
don't do it.
You don't have an exclusive producer deal, though, right?
Nah.
Okay, so you would be collecting your masters directly based on your producer agreement directly from the labels. All these little labels like QC, they go.
Right.
I don't know if QC's still with Capital, right? And then Capital's
That's a
under
good question. I'm
Universal.
curious if I'm getting paid for the masters on those things, because I just assume it's not the masters because those checks aren't that big.
So the publishing both sides can be small for a producer. It depends on the situation. But
Yeah.
on the master
But
side,
the masters is a lot of most of the money.
yeah, depending on what your points are. And this is a big thing for me. I always go back to Old Town Road. This dude, if he never took any deal, and he chose to just take his 50%, because
What is it? Hold on. What'd you find out?
They're under hype. Scooter Braun's new.
Who, QC? But before that, they were at Capitol. I seen their ads right here. They had a little office set up right here.
Wait, he's Scooter Braun. He got like his own label now?
Scooter Braun got his own label called Hype, which shout out to my dog Don. He's over there, but they bought it out.
Damn, that's crazy.
It's led by Scooter Braun. It was finalized in February 2023.
Damn, bro, we're really power playing right now.
Power playing, yep.
That's hard.
But you will get your masters since you're not an exclusive producer deal, you can go and collect your stuff yourself directly, go to the label that whatever represents them. The big thing that gets producers fucked up is these I don't even want to be mean, but
Say it.
There's a lot of shitty small labels that they get in the business of representing these artists, but they're not able to account.
Right.
So the only way they can is by leaning into a major. The major gets to decide if, like, I've been in situations where I'm working with Empire artists, and yes, my producer agreements will say Empire will account to us, but I've had Empire just say, no, we're not going to.
We're not going to.
Why? Because the artists started being irrelevant. So the cost to account to us is not worth it to them.
The risk does not outweigh the reward.
So they send us to the artists. Go collect it from them. Well, these artists are insolvable.
Exactly.
They don't have anything set up. And
That's how nobody got paid from Birdman.
Mm-hmm.
He kept all the money.
Yeah, well, then that gets to a whole other level of living.
Yeah, now you gotta sue Birdman.
Yeah, well, Birdman's not insolvable. He's worth a lot of money.
Yeah,
so you could, if you wanted to, go and sue him.
Yeah, but he's not paying nobody.
Still a rabbit hole.
He's
though.
still not paying.
Now if he has his assets hidden in a bunch of places, that's a whole nother conversation that we can't even get into.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into that.
You gotta think, bro's got
Shout out
so
Birdman.
much. He got so much money that you don't.
Yeah.
You're dealing with a big ass.
So you've had that situation with Birdman where there's
No.
I
don't have no record. I have no record, but it's just a common.
general,
This is a common
thing.
that
Yeah.
everybody producers are scared to work with them because they're not going to get their fucking publishing. This has
heard-
been going on forever.
I've heard some. Is Birdman still Republic?
I don't even think he's doing music like that. He don't need to do
I
music.
mean,
He
where
got
he was,
Drake.
though.
He got Drake, bro. He got Drake and Nicki Minaj.
What
He
he
doesn't
say?
need to do
Don't
shit.
speak on my motherfucking name. What he did on Breakfast Club.
Right.
Oh, you don't want to talk about, bro?
No. What he said on Breakfast Club.
Nah, I
don't
said what he
speak
said
my name.
on. He said don't speak.
All three of y'all. All three of y'all. Put respect on my name.
Yeah.
Put respect on my name.
From the city.
Shout out to
I got
Birdman.
Wayne on the shoulder. You feel me?
Yeah, that's hard.
Bro,
put down
there's
for
way
Louisiana. Shout out to Birdman.
there are ways to get your money in this. It's just if it's worth the fight. I could tell so many producers how many ways you can get your money. It's if it's worth the fight, and there's this uncomfortable situation between maintaining your name and value and your relationships versus getting your money and knowing when it's time to say, oh, this relationship.
I'm not
ain't
trying to
doing shit.
collect it unless it's over like $10,000-$20,000
Yeah,
because
sensible.
why am I gonna burn
Burn
like
a bridge.
whole
Or just the fight, the cost of the fight.
just a stupid,
Yeah.
just like a mad conflict for a couple $1,000, bro. Like,
Right.
come on, hustle out, figure out another hustle, bro.
Right.
But it's
Unless you really need it,
Right.
Then man, go ahead, bro. But still, you're still gonna have to pay for a lawyer for that and all that shit. And you really want to wait till it's a big record because then he's gonna do it on consignment, and
Yeah.
you only have to pay.
How many
him so
times
much.
have you had to go to bat for a situation like that?
I ain't did it.
not yet.
I've never had to. I should have, but I just never wanted to. You know, a lot of people that did that stuff, I respect still. I love them as people, and I just know they're just bad at business.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't care. This ain't hanging up on me. I'm gonna get another record.
Right.
Yeah, it always works out for me, bro. I got good karma. I be just in my positive vibes. So it's like, if somebody does something dirty to me, bro, I'm gonna get better twice.
Is all your
respect
juice
that.
stuff squared, settled away?
Yeah, I'm good.
That's good.
Yeah.
We have old records that we're still.
Yeah, no, their lawyers are good. I'm cool with them. I like them. You know, they are very respectful. They care about the legacy, and I really just deal with the lawyers. You know,
Yeah,
I don't really know.
That's
I
the
never
important
knew
thing.
G Money. I never
yeah.
knew Bibby. I never knew them like that. I met them a couple times.
That's good that you don't. Sometimes
Yeah.
when these dudes,
Yeah,
the
good
managers
shit
try to
too.
step in and be bullies. I'm not saying them. I'm just saying it
Yeah.
happens, and then it interferes with the
No,
ability to just
it
get the business
happens.
done. Yeah.
It's gonna be the A&Rs. It's gonna be the managers. It's gonna be anybody that's overseeing the project. They're gonna
Right.
they're gonna say, hey, look, bro, like you're not signed in anything, and this is the way it's
Right.
gonna be, or you're not gonna get any records.
Right.
Straight up.
Outside of music, what kind of relationship did you and Juice have?
We didn't really hang out like that, to be honest. We were always in the studio. You know, I may come pop up and we smoke some weed and just kick it. You know what I mean? But he was in a relationship.
Right.
It was him and his girlfriend, or him riding dirt bikes with Max Lord, or going in this. Bro would only go to the studio, bro. All he did was chill at the house, ride dirt bikes, and go to the studio. He never went to clubs. He didn't do none of that.
What was this process like? How did you enjoy experiencing this process, bro? Like, were there things that you feel like to now you don't see really necessary? Or you like, damn, bro, that
No, for sure.
I wish.
Juice. Like I had worked with a bunch of people before him, like a whole bunch. He was by far one of the most people that I was like, whoa, bro, like this guy's like, he's like insane. Like, he's like.
So are the narratives true of the rumors of like he was really going front to back and recut like full songs?
Yeah, bro. He did Hear Me Calling in 30 minutes, bro. And you know how it is when you're punching in, you might redo some bar. It takes like realistically, if you're on a roll, it takes you 30 seconds to do each bar.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Because you'll do it, redo it again, fourth time it's in.
Right.
Or sometimes you get it on the one. But he would be perfectionist. He'd be like, oh, no. All right, running that. Oh, no. All right, this is the melody. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right, no, I got to change that word. And then like the fourth time, boom, he'd knock it out.
Damn.
But it was quick though. I was like, damn, like you really got to process. Like you figured out the melody, restructured it, rewrote it, figured out, oh, these are the words that are going to work with it. And then all of a sudden he put the words and they worked perfect. And it relates to the bar before and then works to the second one. It was all good.
Wow.
Yeah, no, he was really super talented, bro. Like shit was crazy. I thought bro was going to be like the next fucking Drake or something, bro. I thought he was going to be so like big, bro. It's like, I thought everything was like there. Yeah.
He was. They were saying, bro, top 3. He was.
I mean, he is, bro.
He was tapping Drake, bro. Spotify yearly, bro. They had him neck and neck. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
He wasn't even in his prime
and
yet.
Juice was like, okay, a lot of artists, bro, they got their egos be fucked up, bro. Bro was so fucking cool, bro. He was like the coolest, welcoming guy, like, and just such a nice person, bro. And it's just it's just tragic when bro died because it was just like, man, fuck, bro. Like, he was one of the most talented, nicest people in the whole world. Like, it make you question shit, bro.
Did you find out with the internet? Or it was a personal call.
No, I got to call it like in the morning, like
That day, like that.
No, I got a call like in the middle of the night. My homie knows somebody that was on the plane, and he was like, bro, Juice is gone, bro. And I was like, nah, bro, nah. And then it was like I was waiting for like 30, 40 minutes, and all of a sudden it hit. It's fucked up. It's fucked up because bro was on the plane. He saw it. He saw everything that happened. Yeah, it was fucked. I was like praying. I'm like, I hope bro don't fucking die, bro. Like, I hope this is just some stupid rumor or whatever. But it was from such a credible source that I knew it was real. Yeah. And you know what's crazy? The person that told me died too.
What?
Yeah. Shout out to Diego, one of the most legendary guitarists, like one of the first founding fathers of like this rap emo shit, bro. He literally died from Percocets on a plane too. Going to go see his mom. Go see his grandma or something.
One thing I'm kind of...
And he was trying to get sober at that time.
That era made drugs too cool and too needed to be a part of your...
Damn, I just thought about that. That's crazy. He died the same way Juice was like on a plane too. That's fucking crazy. The person that told me literally how Juice died the same way. What the fuck,
Yeah,
bro?
That's insane.
That's fucked up, bro. I just thought about that. I don't know why I never thought about that right now. Damn. That just hit me right there.
And what was
Man,
the timeline?
R.I.P. to Diego, bro. Fuck,
Rest
that's
in
so
pieces,
fucked,
Diego.
bro.
And what was
you
the
know
timeline?
what I'm talking about?
At a distance. What was the distance from it? From the
Bro,
situation?
maybe a couple months.
Wow.
Yeah, that shit was sad, bro.
Wow.
And I don't think y'all know, but Diego was really like, He was really a fucking sweetheart, bro. He was one of the nicest guys ever, bro. And he was working with so many people on the shit. He was doing all of Jake. What's it? Jake Paul or who's the guy? Remember he was doing music back in the day.
Who, Jake Paul?
One of them.
Talking about not Supreme Patty, were you?
Supreme Patty, you know?
No, I'm talking about Jake Paul was doing corny ass songs back in the day.
He was writing for him.
Yeah, he was creating music.
Bro was making all his music back in the day. Yeah, Diego was doing all that shit before. He's like, yeah, he's the best, bro. He gets masters. I get so much paid off of these stupid songs. I was like, yeah.
Well, because I see with artists like that, they're doing it.
He had no idea about masters. He's like,
right.
yeah, you get 50%, bro. You help me make the beat, bro.
Damn, that's fire.
Throwing me. That's hard, though.
Nah, the one thing I am glad about the past of that area is like there was a lot of glorification of drugs and
still to this day though, man, it's still like that, bro.
It's better now. I do feel like there was a lesson learned from some of these guys.
I don't know if that's true. It made it cooler, if anything, bro. I hate to say it, bro. Like when I was in high school, bro, you were kind of looked at as a bum if you was doing pills or snorting coke or doing meth. You were a real drug addict. Yeah, you could smoke weed and do shrooms and do acid and fry your brain and be a jolly fucking green giant. But once you start doing them other things, start sniffing and start popping, then you start looking crazy. But now it's cool. It's cool to have a perk on you.
I feel like now perks are in the past, Xans are in the past. My partner, I feel like he played a role. I feel like Big Head sobriety made people realize they see.
Hell no, I see kids all the time, bro. They come to my studio. I see kids that are 18 coming to my studio. They are popping perks and sipping lean still. They think it's cool.
But I got a question though, respectfully, and this respectful to, you feel me, Juice's legacy. But do you feel like his addictions did play a role in the creativity of what he was?
Oh no. So
how large?
Do you want to go into my theory right here?
Go ahead.
All right. So I got a theory right now. And it's about opiates. So if you look in history, opiates have been one of the most. The reason why opiates work well is they put you in an alpha state. Alpha state means like you're asleep, but you're awake. You're basically on the verge of sleeping, but you're awake. And most of the most genius people in the world have made most of their ideas in this state. People will have books, and all of a sudden they'll go like this, and when the book fell, they would wake up and be like, oh shit, I got this great idea. Bro, like Thomas Edison and all these people did this. So I think opiates synthetically do this to you. And if you look in history, bro, the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, bro, everybody, like they all did opiates.
Right.
Kurt Cobain, fucking Juice, Thug, Gucci Man. Everybody did fucking opiates, bro.
Right.
And what happens is that it puts you in a forced alpha state. And when you're in an alpha state, you don't think about it so much, and you make really creative music. You just automatically get more creative. I had a spurt where I was doing a lot of lean, bro. Bro, I made some of the best music of my life, bro. It's because I was so zoned out. I wasn't thinking about it so much. And I'm not glorifying
it, right? It's just reality.
I'm just telling you the reasoning why that happens. You can do alternative ways to put yourself in that mode, though.
What can you do outside
of
opiates?
Go exercise and make yourself get really tired, and then through the day you're gonna be more relaxed and calm, and you're not gonna be overthinking. Boom, that's another way. Or like, I don't know, shut the lights off in the studio. Make it all like dark so you feel like you're not distracted by a bunch of things. There's just other ways to naturally put yourself in that state. But
have you been able to see that you can make something as fire off opiates by putting yourself in a state of comfortability? Or do you feel like...
I don't do drugs that much. Like I occasionally will do something, but now I don't get an addiction.
But you feel like you can make something fire, and
all the time.
Drugs are not necessary.
No, hell no. When I did the lean, and I was on lean probably for like 2 years, bro. Like really bad. I was getting lean for so cheap. It was just prescribed to me. I was doing it before everybody thought it was cool, so I'm just like sneaking it around. Nobody, like, it was a thing.
Yeah,
it was weird. It was weird. Yeah, nobody knew what I was doing. Yeah. I'd have a coffee cup, and I'd be like, I'm about to make the beat, the best beat you ever heard. I'm on high as fuck. Nobody knew nothing, and then it got too popular, and then I could feel my health deteriorating a little bit. Like my teeth started feeling weird. And I was like, no, I got a good smile. I don't want to lose it. Boom, boom, boom. it took like 3 months for me to really get back in the swing of really being inspired to make music and being comfortable, because I was so used to it for like 2 years, just to get high, have this whole ritual, bro, like put it in boom, 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 roll a blunt, boom, 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 start sipping, start making a beat, and by the end of the night, I'm just like, and just still going, and I just did that every other day. And that's how I actually didn't have like a bad withdrawal, because I skipped every other day.
Yeah.
I never went all every day, and I only sipped like the max 2 lines a day. I never went more than that.
Full.
I never went, maybe 3 if I was crazy. Just wanted to wild out, but I never went like 4 and 6 and all that, like what people be doing. I'm like, fuck no.
Yeah, overdoing it.
Yeah.
And I was getting it for cheap. I was getting it 8 for like $25 of Activist.
It was just too.
I was getting abundant of it. I wasn't tripping. I was like, I'm just sitting there. Yeah, it wasn't exciting the way it was now. Like now it's like, oh, everybody think it's cool and shit. Like it's a fucking statement now. It's like it's not cool anymore.
No, it's like an accessory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of find it's lame.
I want to run back to the roots, because we talked.
I only respect the trappers that make a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
And they sip lean. And they sip lean, because it's like, all right, fuck it, bro. You got the money. Go ahead, turn up. But if you just a regular person sipping lean, you're tripping
that's
for paying.
what gets me is dudes
if you're paying $200 a line and you're a regular guy, you're crazy.
Yes, I see this shit so much, and I'm like, bro, you need an accountant, bro.
Yeah, like for real.
Who's paying for this?
Who is paying for this shit?
Yeah, who's paying? It's just so sad. You'll get the cheapest now is $150 a line.
Facts.
100 maybe, if it's the homie. That's so much, bro. Mm-hmm. It's too much.
Ain't worth it.
Somebody said the other day they came in the studio, oh yeah, the homie sound walk, $600 a line.
What?
He said 600. I said, bro, who the fuck?
Move the fuck around.
It's got little gold.
He's like, it already sold. He's like, it already sold to some people.
Shit, a Cuban link. Nigga,
I'm like, it's expired. It's gonna give you a headache anyway.
Right.
Damn.
Bro, I want to go back to your roots, because we talked about how we got to this Juice WRLD shit.
We just went in a drug rant.
Bro, it's
cool.
historical.
It's relatable.
Yeah, it's so relatable.
Yeah,
no, it is so relatable, because
everybody on drugs now.
not even just on drugs, because
the world's on drugs.
I drink a glass of. I write the best when I drink a glass of wine, 2 glasses of wine, 3 glasses. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
everybody got their thing, but it becomes where it becomes.
That's why I think smoking weed.
Operate off of that shit.
I think smoking weed puts you in that alpha state a lot too, and I've always been more comfortable smoking weed and making music.
But it's about balance.
But even that can affect you, bro. Like I've been taking edibles every single day, and like small.
That shit don't affect me.
I microdose it. Though. I take.
I've been smoking weed since I was 12 years old. It does not affect me like that.
For me, I can't wake up early and go to the gym, because like it makes it hard to go to the gym.
No, I go every morning.
Yeah,
every morning. I just don't smoke before I go.
We're just built different.
Yeah.
Oh, you
no,
don't
just do it. Just try it, bro. Your body will adapt, bro. Your body adapts to everything.
That's true.
Yeah.
I wonder if it adapts to $600 line of lean.
Nah, that doesn't work that well.
Does your bank account adapt to it?
You know what you should try? You should try it. You could probably smoke all day, bro. And then if you stop eating at like, that's what Rob be on. He stop at like 6 o'clock. You stop eating. You'll be good. Mm-hmm. Because your body probably is like digested it slow because you were high and you ate late. And then the next morning you're like, ah, fuck.
I just got to do it.
Yeah, no, just stop. Just try this rule. If you smoke and you want to go to the gym in the morning, just don't eat late.
Okay, yeah, I ate hella late last night.
Yeah,
I ate everything.
Yeah, no. Eating late's the worst.
Where the fuck is Viz going?
You gotta go tinkle.
I want to go back to grassroots. I find it so cool how LA kid, you talked about growing up in Venice, Culver City, before they were nice places to be. And then Waka happens to be in LA. You make this big East Coast connect to the point that you become what everyone knows is like a founding member of 808 Mafia. What role did you play in the beginning of 808 Mafia to bring it to where it's at now?
All right, so when we were doing all the records with Waka, I did all those records for like Ice Burgundy and this guy named YG Hootie, and they were part of it. And when I was doing all those records, I predominantly did the whole album. And just that time period, Waka was like, yo, you guys need to start a production group because we're literally like making the best beats. And everybody needs to like, has to be something. And so Walker and Southside brainstormed this whole thing. And then I was him and TM, I think TM was there too. TM 88. Because TM has always been like big bro. Like he was always making the hardest beats in Atlanta. I already knew about TM before we even knew about, because he was doing all these beats for Dirt Gang. And Dirt Gang was like this subsidiary group of Brick Squad Monopoly. Like Waka would go over there and they would record, and they had really good engineers and everybody's good energy over there. He was doing that, and then it was like Southside, and I think Southside and Lex, like they kind of like didn't have something, and then that's where I was in there, and I fulfilled this gap of like making a bunch of beats for all of the artists that weren't getting a lot of beats, and then they were just like, "Yo, Purps, like you got to be part of it, bro. Obviously, like you're like, you know what I mean."
It was organic.
Yeah, and then what? Shout out to Slug. Slug is 808 Mafia too. Slug was like, "Yo, Purps, give me a bunch of beats." Southside said that I'm gonna curate the live mixtapes drop, and the live mixtape drop was hosted by Trapaholics, and we were like the first fucking instrumental album like dropped by a real. If you think we was really like put in a position immediately, because it's like the first instrumental hosted by a real DJ, and so that's how it helped a lot, because we was right on the top of live mixtapes in Dat Piff.
What year was that?
I don't know, like 2010,
13. 13. Was
13,
13,
14. I don't know. I forgot. It all went by so quick. It was awesome. But anyways, yeah. So that happened, and I did all the records for those artists. And Southside and TM linked up with Future, and then what I did was I linked up with like Wiz, and I linked with Currency, and so I did a bunch of records with Wiz and Currency, and then I kind of did this like subsidiary of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like the musical guy in 808 Mafia that did like the musical stuff while the bros were doing all this hard street records and going crazy.
You had instrumental knowledge and like music theory knowledge.
Yeah, I played guitar and did all that. Like they're amazing ears, but they're not musicians. They're not like piano players or anything. You know, they just know how to go crazy on the FL.
So your contribution being was like you were an instrument player. You knew.
Yeah, I'm not like amazing, but I just like have this fascination with like playing chords and all this shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like it translated into, you know. But yeah, that's really how it works, because I looked at it like Southside is my bro, and that's our brother. He's always been a really good guy, but I never wanted to ride his coattail, and I never wanted to feel like he was like we were right, you know, whatever that situation. So I always wanted to do my own thing and be able to be like, here, I'm helping contribute to this 808 Mafia as 100%. A different thing. I'm not trying to get on the same records as you as competition, and that helped a lot, I think, because it gave me like another branch. We had another branch of 808 Mafia.
I see a lot of producer collectives. I've personally had to have business partners where I try to structure the business. My producer partner is more on get the brand out. Let's label producers as part of our thing. And sometimes you start something early on and you don't even realize how big what you're about to do is going to get.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And we had nothing as close to as big as 808 Mafia, but you see, it happens in any business where like something starts and it just starts going and going, and then before you know it, the brand could be as big as the brand's bigger than what it might even be corporately structured as.
Well, I think people love a group. It's
Absolutely.
like a team, bro. Like it's a dream team, you know. Like I look at 808 Mafia, or I look at Working on Dying, or even who else was doing good. It was Eardrummers back then.
Yes, 100%.
And those 100%. They had this team, and people love a team, bro. Absolutely. They love people, friends come together and make something beautiful and work cohesively, because it makes them remind them of their friends and how much they wish they could fucking do that with their friends, so that they support it. It helps a lot. Teams help a lot, bro. And that's all. That's such a big thing.
Are you still connected with 808 Mafia now?
Yeah, That's my boys.
Do you consider yourself still a part of the group?
Yeah, always for life. You can't get out of 808 Mafia. It's like gang shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless it was like some crazy disrespectful shit.
Like, right.
Yeah, but nah, we're so like, one thing, bro, is Southside is so good at picking people like that are like really talented and about their business. So there's been a couple weird ones that happen, but the founding fathers of this shit, we're all solid. We all cool. Like TM, like Trey Pounds, we're all cool with each other. We still cool to this day. You know what I mean? It's always love. I see Southside. I love you, bro. You know what I mean? All the time.
What do you think each person? Because 808 Mafia is one of the most legendary production groups.
Right.
What do you think each person's contribution was to get the collective to where it is today? Each founding person.
I think, like I just said, Southside's so good at picking people that he knew the right people to pick because those people will contribute in their own way. You know? Mm-hmm. He knew that, like, I would do my thing in my own world. He knew that TM would do his own thing over here. He knew that was there. And we all, like, it's like it's a company, bro. It's a firm.
Right.
It's something that everybody contributed. Nobody else was, like, it wasn't no handouts. Nobody was asking anybody for money.
And what was that nuance?
And that's another problem. Is a lot of people be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna sign on this group." Oh yeah, bro. No, you gotta help and pay for some shit, pizza and all that. Like what? Shut the fuck up. No, you bring your own pizza to the party.
What was that nuance that you feel like was?
I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm just saying.
No, 100%.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, like
does.
you have to you got to be a self-sustaining person to work in a bit. You're not finna ask bros, the CEO, to pay for your pizza.
Yeah.
He gonna look at you stupid.
Also, someone just handing you, giving you a label, giving you a
self-sufficient
name.
makes the business.
Makes the business.
Yeah, you have to
incorporating you is the value.
And that's what I was gonna say. Where do you feel like for yourself personally? Because we brought up earlier about the nuance of being ahead, even coming into the group where you already seen where you wanted to make that impact or shift, or you were on the fly with it and it was just what.
Bro, if you listen to the first 808 Mafia mixtapes, listen to my songs. They don't sound like none of them. I played guitar on one of them. I did some other shit on another one. You already knew that I was gonna hit it different from the first records we dropped together like that, and even my records before that. Like, they're just not in that world. I just always been trying to make my own sound, bro. Like, I don't want to sound like anybody. Mm-hmm. So I think that,
that's fire.
Yeah. I look at music like that. Like, you should have your individual approach to it, or it's not cool.
How did you guys operate internally, collaboratively wise? Was it like, I'm throwing him a play, or is it like, this is my own thing, this is my own thing?
We all made our own place. We all made our own place.
Fire.
Nobody.
And everybody else was incorporated, or that was just your thing? It was your thing, even if it was your play? Or did you always incorporate everybody?
We didn't necessarily share opportunities, but we made our own opportunities happen with how much strength we had through the company. So we were able to facilitate, like, yo, I'm going to do this project with Currency, 808 Mafia and Currency. And he's super down, and he's down because it's 808 Mafia and he knows his Purps and da-da-da. Mm-hmm. And that was...
So you guys all...
Because it's all for the company anyways. It doesn't really matter.
To boosting the value of the name.
Yeah, we were
100%.
looking at it like stocks. Like, we still look at it like that. Like, even now, I'm still putting the 808 Mafia tag on random shit. Like, I put it on the Phoenix Flexing record because I was like, man, we didn't really have no 808 Mafia people do West Coast shit. Like, really a big record with a big artist. I'm like, I've never heard a Shoreline Mafia song with saying 808 Mafia. I'm like, man, put that on the tag.
On there.
Put that shit on there. It's on there.
When you do stuff like that and that comes out, does it involve bust down business between the team, or is it just purely creative?
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Well, me and Southside, we have an understanding, like, what mine is mine and his is his. And that's his company, and he's doing it his way, and I'm just this... I'm just a vessel that comes in, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm just this entity in there, you know? But no, I don't, unless he did something on the record, I don't really feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
So no, I mean...
Or if I put his tag on it or something, I'm really negotiable with business, but you just got to come at me fair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm willing to, if bro took my beat, put his tag on it, and did it, I'll give him 50%.
Yeah,
I wouldn't care. I'd be like, that's my bro. He made the play. What the fuck?
Yeah, so it all gets sorted.
He's a
sensibly.
producer.
Yeah.
People don't understand when Southside walk in the studio and like everyone in 808 Mafia, we help the vibe in the room because we're not stupid. We actually tell the artists kind of what to do sometimes.
Right.
Like, yo, rap like this. And they listen to us because we already have records.
Right.
It's like, all right, bet. That sounds like a good
actual
idea.
production. That's not beat making.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
actual
not beat-
production.
We rarely, like, a lot of the people in 808 Mafia were rapping before. Yeah.
Right, I'm like, say, artists.
Like, yeah, Fuse is doing an album right now, and he's rapping on fucking Arab music beats, and it's crazy.
That's nuts.
Trey Pounds was part of Dirt Gang that I told you.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Pounds, and he's part of one of the first founding fathers, and he did like so many records. He was a rapper before, so it's like
That's hard.
Yeah. Everybody was like kind of already knew what was going on.
That's fire.
I got this question I want to close on, and we don't
Look
have
at
to close.
Southside; he raps all the time.
Yeah, I'm about
Oh, yeah,
to
he
say,
does.
I'm like,
He's
he an
fire.
artist.
Yeah.
He's
been
dope.
rapping.
Shout out Southside, bro.
Yeah.
Super fire, bro.
Yeah,
Legend.
Go.
Is there anything you've learned through your time in the industry that people are scared to admit? Anything you've been wanting to speak on? I could hear your passion this whole time. We
I
talked
love it,
about
bro. It's a
earlier.
resurgent, bro. We need
Yeah.
this shit.
Yeah,
the way
this-
you talking
this-
right
this
now,
is such
we
a-
need
this has been the
energy
most
back in the music.
refreshing like
For real?
podcast that we've had so
Yeah,
far.
this
I
is-
thought about
this
it
is
too.
real
Listen to you
I
without talking.
wanted to come in here and like say some shit because
Yeah.
I feel like people just say some regular shit
Yeah,
that
no.
doesn't really matter. It's like, bro, I could have heard that anywhere.
Yeah, of
That
course.
ass.
Yeah. Fuck
No,
that.
we're not scared here.
Nah, we're not scared.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Nah,
freedom
you
of
shouldn't
speech.
be.
Like-
And I want you to feel like with yourself, bro.
Yeah.
Give what would your younger self want to hear. You know what I'm saying? That's how I want you to pop it on this motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking at it like because people like they're young.
There's
and
still
they look
people
at
trying
it,
to find it.
And even if they're not young, they still might be in that new state where shit ain't really popped off. And even if they are, they want to hear people's perspective. To be like, oh, damn, his story kind of relate to mine. It's similar how bruh did it like me.
Exactly.
That's fire. You know, I don't know. All right,
the
what was the
streets.
question?
No, if there's anything specific.
You gotta give me
No,
an example.
No,
or
you gotta
something.
go.
You asked
Okay,
me
okay.
something that you feel like might be gate kept.
I got you.
Yeah.
A producer gets their first placement with an artist. They're at a certain level where they don't know what to even ask for the beat. They're being told what they're going to take for the beat. What do you think's a price an entry level price that a producer should be getting, no matter what the song is, with a major label signed artist, and not that bullshit.
They're not gonna like my answer here.
Okay, but I want to hear it. Not that bullshit. We're independent, but you're independent in a decent distribution deal, or your label's independent, but you're actually partnered
Bro, we
with
can
a major.
even go scratch.
No, I got a simple one.
Or
though.
the artist has got the artist has got money on their own.
So it's
Keep
a
it
major.
simple.
It's
Just keep it
an
simple. Just
unknown.
scratch.
It's an unknown producer
Scratch, entry
and a
level.
major label.
Entry level.
Sure.
Just go entry level,
Sure.
bro.
Entry level what?
Entry level of, bro, this
entry
is a
level
producer
artist at
getting
a major label. Yeah.
There you
Okay,
go.
entry level artist. How big is this artist?
300,000 monthly listeners.
And the producer has anything going on?
Not a single. They
Not
don't
one
have that
thing.
much
Never
going on.
did nothing.
Never did shit.
Sold a kid on Soundclick. Whatever.
Found
Okay,
it.
whatever. Bro, get the record done. That's it.
No bag, no money.
No, get the record done. Your job is to make music and put it out. Stop thinking about money, fucking asshole.
So you would
Once
have,
your fucking credit is up and once you got some shit then you start demanding. You don't have any value, mister.
so even from the major, they're just not even taking anything.
Get the record placed.
Because it's about the relationship maintaining that's going to further you,
But
bro.
the label's not going to offer $0.
They
They're gonna offer
might, and
something.
if they try, first of all, aim as high as you can. Tell them you want $20,000. All right, 10, 5. Okay, man.
well, at 20, they probably already are.
Or
responding
like,
to the email.
or you're gonna hear it from
They're
the
not even
first tone,
responding.
like, "Go fuck yourself." Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
And then you're like, "Oh shit, they not even gonna fuck." All right, so what's the real? Bro, it's just kind of your negotiation skills, bro. That's why a lot of people have managers because they don't want to sit there and be the bad guy telling other people. Like, it's a good, it's a
Mediator.
good shield. Yeah, mediator. You have your artist here, and then you have the fucking producer, and you need this middle ground to make people not hate each other.
Right,
Yeah, because this guy wants a lot of money, and this guy don't want to spend a lot of money.
right.
So he like got to tell bruh, he
gotta
got to fight
mediate.
for you. Because if this bruh start fighting, he gonna be like, fuck you. So, but anyways, my say is just get the record done.
Most important thing is get the placement.
Just get the placement, bro. Because all you really need to do, I tell everybody this, all the kids and everybody that come to my studio I work with, I'm like, bro, just get the placements because you can't have you have no. You can't.
You don't have worth yet.
You don't have any worth. Where's your value?
That could be your worth right there. That one placement. That's your worth.
Is something.
That's your foundation right there.
That's something. Mm-hmm. Instead of you talking crazy and then not even getting nothing.
Yeah. Right. Because the worst thing you want to be labeled at is the motherfucker that's hard to do business with.
Exactly.
That shit spreads.
This becomes another topic.
Wildfire.
I don't even want to get on this. Right
yeah.
now.
No, but that's why if you do bad business, most likely those people don't last long. The ones that do bad business usually have a mediator, have a manager that they hide behind that does that
be the shield.
Fuck shit. But really, it's the artist or the producer, or whoever is hiding behind and saying, "Yeah, do it like." Or it's both. They're business. Some people are business partners together. Mm-hmm. Managers and artists and producers, they're business partners.
Because all of us as creatives want to be able to just go in the session and be like, "My nigga, my bro, what's good?" We don't want to have to be like, "Hey, bro, you're the nigga." Yeah. I feel like he's playing with me. Yeah. So you need that shield, that mediator.
Exactly.
So we can keep the
creative flow going.
There's been a lot of times where I'll be all cool in the studio, and then all of a sudden we start doing business, and then I'm like, I need to get my bag, bro. Like, I did a lot of this stuff, bro. Like, you got to give me something, and I know you're getting paid.
Right.
And you're just pocketing the money. You're kind of an asshole, bro. Like, because bros will get $100,000 for a project, and they're supposed to pay their producers, but they keep all the money.
Right.
Yeah. That's, okay.
That's a whole nother rabbit hole. I'm about to say.
Bro, that's the most important thing.
True.
That's the thing I hate about these
these
micro labels that are given JVs with majors. They're given a production budget. Then this
Empire give $100,000, $200,000 to people that are
just going to eat the whole thing.
The 300K views a month, and those producers aren't getting paid shit.
Yeah. So the overall
nothing.
The overall producer label model has to change because those small labels have been proven to be irresponsible.
But that goes back to your first question. This is why the music sounds the way it does, bro, is because artists are gonna go to a producer that is unknown because he literally is cheaper, and when his project literally gets dropped, it's gonna sound mediocre because they don't want to fucking spend money for a Purps beat or a real producer beat. And that's why the projects be ass, is because literally bro don't want to. He want to get a beat off YouTube.
But it's not even necessarily the artist; it's their team that's trying to be cheap and fucking the artist career up.
But I contradicted myself because I'm like, just get the placement. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like
double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword.
Hopefully that person, that person that has to take that sacrifice and is not getting paid actually has a dope sound.
Discernment is real.
Right.
Hopefully.
Purps, we got to bring you back on because we just opened up several more cans.
We're going to have to round 2 this.
Of reality.
Episode 2 for sure.
We're going to have to bring Purps back on for part 2.
100%, bro.
All right,
because it's going to have to be like a 2 to 3 part podcast at this point.
I want to say
they should bring in like one of the homies too that produces.
Nah, for sure.
Yeah, I want to say it'd be hard to have like 2 different perspectives of like people in the same position.
We need to bring in one of the CEOs or managers of those micro labels too.
I want to ask one like I do with every guest to wrap it up. Give as quick, sniper direct as possible one statement that you know now in the industry.
60 seconds.
That you would give to your younger self with the information that you know now. To the viewers, to somebody that's watching this, that is you, that is thoroughly you, trying to figure this out.
Oh, yeah, 1 sentence statement.
Give them a statement that would...
You got to give me a second to think about that.
Go ahead.
That's kind of like a speech.
Go ahead.
What I would say to my younger self...
You're talking to yourself right now that's watching this live. What are you telling your younger self?
Shit. I don't really even know, bro, to be honest. I feel like everything that I said would have been like little key factors.
He did.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Like hearing my story.
Bro, get the placement.
Get the placement. Get as much as you can get done. Increase your value, and then talk shit. Don't expect to get a lot of money immediately where you're not worth of anything. You know, you have to put the pressure on yourself to make yourself a diamond. You got to put all that stuff in there. And you literally have to, you got to put it, you got to go hard. You got to take those sacrifices that I said, and you got to really believe in yourself, man. And I'm saying such generic shit, bro, but a lot of people don't do a lot of those things that are like, okay, bro, I'm going to do the research. I'm going to learn everything about this artist before I go in the studio. Oh, what are they going to do next? Oh, I see them. You know what I mean? All those little things are so important, bro. And I think just knowing your business in using your music business just like any other business model, and knowing that you got to actually do it like a business, because it's a music business. It's not just music.
Yep. That's so important. Just don't remember that it's
put the pressure on yourself to make yourself a diamond. That is the quote of this entire.
And if you have a house, and if you have a house in Topanga, make sure you have good fire insurance.
They cancel all the insurance. I'm gonna go get some crazy sprinkler system that goes on the roof. And then it turns on.
Trickle down.
I'm telling you, get the drone.
Shit like
the drone connected to the.
No, my homie told me what I got to do already. You put up things on the side on the corners of the roof, bro, and then it's be. Then I got to get a generator. It goes on the gasoline. It's some next level shit, bro. Apocalypse.
Fire, bro.
All right, bro. I appreciate you coming.
Oh yeah,
we appreciate you, bro.
I'm about to pull a Viz right now. I'm running right to the bathroom, bro.
Yeah.